Hey Capsule people, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about combat scanning. For normal probe scanning, there's a great tutorial by Eve Online, and I'll link it in the description. For combat scanning, what we want to look at is using an expanded probe launcher of sorts with combat scanner probes. For combat scanning, you want to have access to your D-scan. By default, it's docked within your solar system app, and your probe scanner, which should also be docked by default in here. Personally, I like having mine separate. Now, I made a video about D-scan. I'll link it here as well. What we want to do here is we want to use our combat probes to find this NETOS training partner. This slasher, a buddy of mine, is piloting this ship. And he sat at his safe spot, and I need to find him. Using my D-scan, I'm going to try and pinpoint his position. For that, I'm going to reduce my angle at 180. It's a good idea to look at your solar system map as you're doing this, so that you can kind of see what area they might be at. It seemed like he was below, okay, kind of in that area, okay. And now we reduce the angle again. Make sure he stays within the cone. Reduce the angle again. Oh, he left the cone, so what we're going to do is we're going to move our camera a little bit around. What we want to do is keep this area of space where he appeared at 60 degrees. We want to find it within the 30 degrees. So he might be around there. Oh, okay, reduce angle again. He's somewhere in that area. Reduce angle again. So now we're going to move our camera very gently, just to get the edges where the 15 degrees was earlier. Remember, it was like this big. So he's somewhere in this area, somewhere around there in space. A little bit to the right, maybe. Now, you can use this to find drones, mobile tractor units. There we go. And other deployables in space. Alright, now we've got his general area within 5 degrees. He's within this cone in the system. He's actually physically there in the system. We're going to reduce our range until he disappears. 1, okay, so now we start scrolling up. Scrolling up until he appears again. 4.4. Now we scroll down again. 4.1. 3.9, he still appears. 3.8. And notice our cone has gotten smaller. It's now 3.7 AU long and a 5 degree angle. Scan 3.6, 3.5. There, 3.3. We got him at 3.3. That means he's exactly on the tip of this D-scan cone. Now, all we gotta do is launch our probes. Be aware that launching your probes while on D-scan from someone will show the probes are in the air, and they'll be notified if they're D-scanning and have combat probes filtered in their D-scan. Check out the D-scan video. We're going to launch our probes. We're going to zoom them all the way in So they're the smallest range, okay? And we're going to place them on the edge of that D-scan. Double click, right there. So it's now covering right on the edge of the D-scan. The probes are scanning this whole area. So when I scan, probes are going to fly there. They're going to scan. I can even pick up my combat scanners there. And we got the slasher. Recover probes. And we can save that slasher's location. We could share that with other people, as that's where the slasher's safe spot is. We can warp to the slasher. And if we're combat fit, we can engage the slasher. Anyway, that's how you combat scan. Hopefully my buddy hasn't warped off. Alright, there he is. Yep, scanned him. And engage. I'm going to end the video with an engagement where I killed a guy who I apparently helped in rookie chat. We spoke about it. He was cool. He got his stuff back. And agreed to be in the video. So that is a big shout out to Lex Ashwari-Thrace from Absolute Order. Here, Lex Ashwari-Thrace comes into system. I see a probe on my D-scan. What I'm doing now is I'm warping to an off D-scan bookmark I made. A good way to make off D-scan bookmarks is using incursion systems, because the sites all spawn very far off D-scan. So you can warp to them and between them, making D-scans, deep safes, we'll call them. I drop my probes, so they're only visible in this area of the system. For someone to be able to scan that, they must be able to scan that bookmark, basically. So in the meantime, I'm going back to my safe spot in the center of the system to try and triangulate where the probe is. Pinpointing the angle, looking in different directions, 90 degrees, okay, kind of in the area, 30, 15, there it's in that direction. He's right in line with that site, so I highlight it. Now I'm going to reduce the range of my probes. And now I'm going to triangulate the distance. So he's at 4.8, 4.7, he's at 4.7. So I'm going to place my probes right on top of him. Mind you, he still can't see my probes on D-scan because they're all the way off site. I press Analyze once while I align. Now I'm scanning at full zoom. Recall the probes immediately so the probes don't appear on his D-scan for long, and I warp immediately to the target. Another way of keeping your probes off scan is to just launch them in system and then scan off very far away from the system. You know, just off of D-scan. Sorry, Lex.
Your security status has been lowered.
I didn't give you a chance. Anyway, good luck, guys. I hope this stuff helps you stay safe.
Web drive active.
And every loss is a lesson. Lex was a great sport, and his death was not in vain. We'll remember you, Lex.